is going on, guys? I'm in the garage today. Randy's got family events going on, so I haven't been to the paint shop yet. We'll be there tonight. So I've been kind of cleaning up the garage and figuring out some stuff. So as you see, I have 3 cylinder heads here. So when I bought the engine, it came obviously with 2 cylinder heads. One of them had some issues with the head, like strip bolts and a broken exhaust manifold stud, which is like super common on an LS. So I was like, whatever, I'll extract it and deal with that. And then you find out when you have these sales with the junkyards, I could buy a cylinder head for like 25, 30 bucks. So it's worth me having a better cylinder head for that reasoning than to try to extract and drill and tap certain bolts. So it's exactly what I did here. This is the one I had before. So where the accessories go, all these were rounded out. And then also I got a broken exhaust manifold stud right there. And I said, screw it, I'll go buy another cylinder head. And then right now I took out all of the valve train. So what I'm going to do with this head now and that head is I'll end up sandblasting them and having them hot tanked. I'll lap the stock valves. What I've been doing over here is I picked up a wire wheel. So I've actually been cleaning all of the stock valves. And then once I get the heads sandblasted and hot tanked and cleaned, I'm going to lap the valves, install the valves, take it over to CW Pence. He said he's going to vacuum test the valves to make sure they seal properly, and then he'll surface them and it'll be good for the good to assemble for the bottom end. So as I mentioned before, I have a cool color that I did with the powder coating, and I'm going to show you that right now once I take all this crap off the top of the engine. Let's see, I got my fuel tank over here. All right, cool powder coat color reveal right about now. So obviously there still needs to be an assembly. I mean, there's nothing in there. So I did wrinkle black. And then also this is called US penny vein, copper penny vein or something like that. So if you look up close, it's got the vein to it. But if I shine my phone flashlight, you can see it's super reflective, like a penny. So I thought it'd be kind of a neat mix of the copper and the black, and seeing it on the engine just kind of mocked up. I mean, obviously it's not ready to go in, but I just, you know, it makes me really happy at my decision. My last 1.6 setup, it was all wrinkle black, which I love. However, it's just, I'm ready for a change. I don't know. I just thought it'd be something cool. Let's actually take this outside. You just gotta see this in the sunlight. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it is just so bright, so color flashing. And like I said, I'm super happy that I did that color choice. So again, thank you, Nick, for taking care of the powder coating. It's a real nice thing to have. As far as the engine, I don't know if I really mentioned anything about the engine. Obviously the engine's back. When I took the engine to CW Pence, I actually got to help with the process. Jeff took me under his wing, and he didn't show me how to do everything, but I basically, if a bolt needed to be torqued for him to measure something, I was the guy that tightened and torqued the bolts. I did all the, for a lack of better term, I did all the bitch work, and he did all the very precise measuring and using all the tooling and stuff. So a little rundown of the engine. This is a 5.3 iron block. We honed all of the cylinders. You can see, I'll put you up in here. I got all the mains. The mains are all, it's all line honed. Everything is measured, everything is clearanced. And we polished the crank, and I'm using the stock Gen 4 5.3 rods and pistons, but we did do the ARP 2000 rod bolts. So we installed the rod bolts, he measured the clearances, and re-honed them, measured the clearances, and everything is good there. So that's kind of the rundown of the engine. It'll be a stock bottom end with new King's Race bearings, ARP 2000 rod bolts, stock rods, stock pistons. And then as far as the cylinder heads, they are 862 castings. I'm using stock valves, but I will be using LS9 or LS7 lifters, LS9 factory head gaskets, Brian Tooley Racing Stage 2 turbo cam, dual valve springs, chromoly push rods, and I did the trunnion rocker upgrade. That way the rocker has full rotation. So like I said, what I'm doing right now is I've pulled all this off, because you can definitely tell these nasty things came from a junkyard. So yep, I'm gonna go ahead and sandblast and hot tang them this week, and hopefully get them over to CW Pence this weekend, or I'm sorry, not the weekend, but later in the week while they're still open, because they're only open Monday through Friday. So yep, like I said, I'm working in the garage right now, and then I'm gonna go visit Randy a little bit later. So well, unfortunately, I'm not going to the paint shop tonight. Randy had personal things going on today, was up early, decided he was going to take a nap, and then that nap that he was expecting to take 30 minutes took him to about 4 hours. So it's too late to do stuff. I'm trying to shoot there in the morning. So I grabbed some stuff, and I was going to start doing engine stuff. So went to the good old Walmarts and got some stuff. Obviously not this, but I had to get some paper towels. I got the assembly lube and brake clean and things of that nature. So like I said before, the engine's completely bare. You can see straight down the cam bearings. You can see straight down the mains. There's no bearings in them now. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to slide in the camshaft and kind of bolt that stuff in place, because since I don't have the crank, I can reach into everything and I can help guide the cam through, since I don't have the long tool, and this will make it a lot easier to do. So I just lubed up the cam with the Lucas Oil assembly lube, and I'm going to go ahead and slide the cam in the blocker right now. Alright, so now you can see the front of the camshaft, and you can see the nice beautiful cam inside the block. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is put on the torque plate. Now this engine does not come with any sort of timing chain tensioner. That would be like the car models, but as far as I know, most of the truck models do not. So I found this kit that actually converts my engine to have a tensioner. So basically the timing chain will just ride on the sides of this. So I got my new thrust plate for the cam. I'm going to bolt this on with the 1 bolt first, and then the other 3 bolts here will be with the aftermarket kit, and then I will put the cam gear on. I got a timing kit for the JP Performance timing kit from Fast Times Motorworks. Graham, thank you for the great deal. Graham is actually a close racing friend. Brian, that I race with all the time with the Camaro, his engine builder is Graham. So we've established a pretty cool friendship. So again, thanks for the deal on the timing kit. It's JP Performance. So it came with the timing chain, the lower collar, the lower gear. So he said this is what he uses on his big LS build, so he recommended it to me. So yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the torque plate on, or I'm sorry, the thrust plate on, and I'll keep going. Well, I put the camshaft in, I put the little timing chain tensioner deal on, timing gear. I torqued everything to the specs. I did the ARP cam bolts. So you can see that nice pretty cam inside there. So that is as far as I'm gonna go without anyone here. But one thing I just did realize is I went to the lower timing gear, and something tells me that this is not gonna work out with this timing chain tensioner. It's either that or the chain's too short. I'm not sure which, but we'll figure that out later on. So that's it for me tonight. Tomorrow morning, Randy told me to be there at 9. Hopefully he wakes up. But since I work tomorrow night, I'll probably wake up a little bit later and show up. He said he wants to get the bumpers and the flares and the high build primer tomorrow, and then start putting, he says putty, I don't know what it is, but start fixing some of the blemishes in the engine bay to then further go with the bodywork. So I'm done for the night. We will revisit this later in the week. I just wanted to do something on my own. So I'll catch you guys later.